Good morning, everybody. Greg Knopfster in for a half-hour conversation with a couple of folks from the Showboat. And the play opens up tonight, and we have with us Sydney Jaye and Grant Alexander Brown and James Beaudry. So we got a lot of things to find out about and talk about. I guess first, let's just go back to State Fair.
Yeah.
I thought it was a great performance.
Thank you.
And a lot of people just love the dancing and all the action on stage and the story itself, too.
Yeah, it's just a really lovely, kind of old-fashioned musical, but doesn't, it didn't drag, Everybody said, oh, it moved so fast, as they expected it to be slow. But, that's great. That's great. But people just loved it, They just, I don't remember ever doing a show where every single thing that someone said to me was positive. Usually somebody's like, I didn't like that word that character said, There's somebody will say that about The Wedding Singer, certainly. But State Fair, everybody just like rapturous reviews across the board. So really, really lovely experience.
Yep, it was. And we have also got to find out, we'll do this right away too, the shows for next season. You had the opening on Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
Oh, next Tuesday. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so sadly I can't tell you what they are. Unless you pay me a lot of money. No, I'm kidding.
See how much I brought
Get out the
with
wallet.
me today.
So next Tuesday is our opening, not our opening Follies, our season announcement Follies concert.
Okay.
So we'll put on a concert of songs from those shows. And it's at 7:30 p.m. on Tuesday, so if you're available, come on down to the Showboat. You do need tickets for it. You can get them at the box office or on our website. And we will announce what is going to be on stage in 2023.
Okay.
And it's also your first chance to subscribe at the lowest price for 2023.
Very good. Well, we'll talk about that and see how that went next time you're in. So, looking forward to that. Well, we have Grant and Sydney here. And Sydney, now you are still in school, right?
Yes,
okay.
I will be a senior at
You can pull up a little closer there.
I'll be a senior at Baldwin Wallace this year.
Okay. And we have a lot of actors through the years who have gone there.
Oh, I've heard.
Yeah. Yep. So you got a good name behind you there. And Grant, what are you up to now?
Oh, a whole lot of nothing and yet everything all at once. I've this past year, actually since last summer, I've been very fortunate to be going all over the country doing shows. But I'm happy to come back and be here in Clinton this summer again.
Yeah, you've been in Clinton last year and this year, and then spent several years before that at Timber Lake.
Yep, right across the river.
Yep, and I can remember I saw you in Mary Poppins, and I thought you did a real good job with that.
Thank you. That one was really, really fun.
Yeah, it was
I still get questions about, so is it true that you really tap danced upside down? I said, yes, let me pull out my phone and show you.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, and it was a neat show, and Mary actually flew, so that was a highlight for many folks. Well, back to the Showboat here. What do you like about the character that you're playing?
Well, I'm playing Robbie Hart, the wedding singer, the title character, if you will, who was played by Adam Sandler in the 1998 movie. And I'm very excited. This was, I said this earlier today, that this was a dream role that I didn't know that I had until we started rehearsal. It was just never fully on my radar, but as soon as we started, I realized I get to do everything that I love to do on stage. I get to cry, I get to tell jokes and be silly, I get to get punched in the face a couple times, I get to fall down, I get to sing, I get to dance, I get to play guitar, so just all the little fun things that make performing fun for me, I get to do in one show and fall in love with my wonderful co-star, and it's a really great show, and we open tonight, and I couldn't be more excited. And I don't think, well, we said this last year too about All Shook Up, that I don't think the community has seen something like this yet. And then we said that about Sister Act. and it still remains true today for Wedding Singer. So we just keep upping the ante here.
Well, I said earlier, you've had a great show so far, or a great series so far this year, and this sounds like it's going to be another top performance. So.
I think so. I hope so.
Yeah. And Sydney, why don't you tell us a little bit, since you're still in school, tell us a little bit about your background and how you got into acting and other things folks might want to hear.
I have always just loved performing. I did my first show when I was in second grade. I was Oompa Loompa number 4 in Willy Wonka Jr. This is a glorious time. And since then, I just fell in love with it. I had worked with the same company all the way through high school. And then when I was about probably a sophomore in high school is when I really realized that it was a choice to actually go into this as a profession. So I started researching schools and eventually got into BW, and it's kind of just taken off from there. It is my favorite thing in the world to do. I feel like this is like the thing that I can see myself doing forever. It's my job, it's also my hobby, it's what I do in my spare time. This might be embarrassing to admit on the radio, but I am like full theater kid just all the time. I will listen to musicals in my spare time. But as far as Wedding Singer, I saw this show when I was in 8th grade when it toured and it came to Pittsburgh, where I'm from. And I sang Someday in high school for my cabaret freshman year. And since then, it has just totally been a dream role. I feel like we haven't seen Wedding Singer around a whole lot.
Yeah, I haven't heard of it being around here for...
It's interesting. I did the show 13 years ago, and it premiered on Broadway in 2005, I think, maybe 2006, which was very soon after the film had come out. It was quite a fast turnaround, and so everybody sort of did it then. But I think there's more nostalgia for the 80s now than there was then. I mean, everything is cyclical, right? So fashion, there's 80s fashion is back in style. And so I hope, and it seems so because people are buying tickets like crazy for it, that like the moment might be more right for it now than it was 10 years ago.
I hope so. I want to keep doing this show.
Yeah. And the story is just so sweet and all about love. It's just a good time. You're going into to laugh and just fall in love. Trust me, love is what I do, which is a lyric from the show. So you'll get it if you ask.
Yeah. Now, what music is in the show? I can remember from seeing the movie. It was 80s contemporary tunes.
It's very. There are only a couple of songs, mostly the tunes that Adam Sandler wrote for them, end up in the show, but the rest are similar in the same vein and the style of the songs you hear in the movie. So there's some Cyndi Lauper-esque songs, there's some Quiet Riot type songs, there's some the 80s pop, Duran Duran style stuff. So it really encapsulates the whole genre of 80s.
Yeah, that sounds fun. Sounds fun. Now, we have got, what do we got? Oh, we got plenty of time here. Turn around and look at the clock. It goes so fast. Half the time I'm not even close to asking all I want to. But, this is always a great morning for me. I really enjoy talking to all you folks and finding out about the plays and going to the shows. And I love doing the reviews. I can't say I'm a critic. I just tell people what I saw and what I liked, and
that's the best kind of critic.
Yeah, that's
honestly.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're too small of a town to be a critic, and we like you folks and want to keep you coming back every year. Now, what else is coming up? I know you got one more show after this.
Yeah. So after The Wedding Singer, The Wedding Singer runs today through July 31st. And then on August 4th, we open the last main stage show of our season, which is called The World Goes Round.
Okay.
And it's a musical review, so it's all songs and dance. There's no book to it. And it is songs by John Kander and Fred Ebb, who are the writers of musicals like Chicago, which is the best-selling American musical of all time. And then there was the Academy Award film. And then Cabaret, also another Academy Award-winning film adaptation. And so they partnered a lot with Bob Fosse in their time, and they also wrote. So it's their songs and songs from those shows and other songs that they wrote, including like New York, New York. It's very famous. So even though people may not know who they are, they're familiar with their songs.
They've heard
the
the
songs
song.
are part of the last 50 years of pop culture. And so there's 5 performers. Grant is one of them. And just a great evening of song and dance. Just a really feel-good, fun way to end the season. So we're looking forward to that.
Rehearsals in progress on that yet?
They start tomorrow.
Okay. Get
No
get
rest
this show started,
Wedding
and then
Singer.
we're off to the next.
No rest for the Grant Brown.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's good. People like seeing you on stage. I can tell that you're well received by the audience. So,
You're certainly received.
It's funny because you were talking about like this musical styles of the 80s, but part of the fun of The Wedding Singer, I think, is there are so many references to pop culture things from the 80s that if I was born in the late 70s, so I remember most of the 80s, and the numbers of things like Where's the Beef or Kiss My Grits or all of these pop cultural touchstones of that time that you knew once but maybe haven't thought of in years. There's this amazing nostalgia factor to The Wedding Singer, in addition to like just the mall fashion and the all of these cultural touchstones that The Wedding Singer bring to life beyond the music. So it's a really great nostalgia piece, but what really drives it home is that at the heart of it is a really great romantic comedy love story. So you get all of this fun spectacle, laugh at it stuff, but then you get a really beautiful love story that Sid and Grant play out. So I'm just excited for audiences to experience it, because for me the best theater is when there's a really, really great story at the heart of it, and then you fill it with surprise after surprise after surprise, so the audience is just enthralled for 2 hours. And I think that's going to happen tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's really easy to maintain that central story with Sid. She's a great scene partner to have, and we're so happy to have her at the boat this summer.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's just
I feel
fun.
the same
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
It's so easy. It's been so much fun working with you.
Yeah, and from I remember you saying that you were like a little like taken back because the first rehearsal for Sister Act, I spotted her out and I go, "You're Julia, right?"
I was like, I had already known. I had seen your Instagram. I was like, there's no other person that I've looked at that could possibly be Robbie Hart. Like, it has to be Grant. It has to.
And so we've been like all summer just kept being goofball goons to like get that chemistry up, so that way the audience can't help but falling in love. I'll shook up reference with these two characters, and I think they do.
I think
they
so
usually
too.
do. Last night we got a clap from the nuns that came to see Final Dress midway through the show at a big moment, which we won't reveal.
Okay.
Surprise.
Yeah.
Now,
Surprise.
I say one thing too. I always enjoyed, and I don't always mention them in the review, but your orchestra, the band behind it, stuff is just. It sounds like a record.
Yeah, Kathleen Castellanos was our music director for State Fair and is doing Wedding Singer and The World Goes Round later. And you're not the only person to say that. Somebody actually asked me if the music for State Fair was recorded, and it wasn't. I mean, it's all live, and we had 7 or 8 musicians for that, and I think 6 for this, for Wedding Singer. And Kathleen is so good at creating a sound that feels right for the style of the show, because the 1946 Iowa State Fair is very different from Richfield, New Jersey in 1985. And what do those sound like? And just like the loveliest person to work with also. All the musicians love her, and we love her, and just great. Yeah.
The band is so good. We did our sits probe, and I immediately started crying as soon as the opening number. I'm not even in the number, and I just started crying as soon as they started playing. So good.
Oh, good. And costuming tonight. A lot of big hair.
Lots of hair. How can you tell?
Yeah, I mean, our design team, we don't have very large budgets at the Showboat. We make miracles happen, and our design team is just amazing for this show. Costume designer is Montana Carlson, and what she has accomplished with very little money is jaw-dropping. And I mean, you don't want people to look at the show and go, oh, wow, they didn't spend very much money on this. You want them to look at the show and say those costumes are amazing and not think about that. But there's something like 100 costumes just in the first act because we're at different weddings, we're at a bar mitzvah, we're at a mall. So every time the ensemble leaves the stage, they're changing into a whole other outfit so that they can come on and be guests at a different wedding and look like different people. And it is... we knew from the beginning of the season that this would probably be the most difficult show to pull off because there's so many pieces that have to fit together in a very short timeline. And what she has pulled off is really remarkable. And the hair and the accessories and just those details that make it feel like, again, like those cultural touchstones. Like you look at a costume and you go, oh my gosh, we all did that in the 80s, didn't we? With our jeans or whatever it is,
What were we thinking?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
hair and way more wigs than we normally have in a show.
Okay.
There's also, not to give anything away, but there's a whole slew of 80s celebrities that show up at the end of the show. So you have like Tina Turner and Mr. T and Billy Idol and Ronald and Nancy Reagan, and I'm missing one.
Cyndi Lauper.
Cyndi Lauper. And so those are iconic people, and so you have to put somebody on stage so somebody can look at them and go, that's obviously Cyndi Lauper, and that's not easy to do. And,
What color is her hair this time?
Orange.
Yeah, okay.
Orange. Yeah. But exactly, it's exactly that. You have to know that, like, the first thing people will recognize about Cyndi Lauper is probably her hair. And references to Madonna and Michael Jackson and other costumes and things like that. So they've just done a tremendous job, and sets and lights and sound. Also, the lighting, and people will leave and just not be able to stop talking about the way the set and the lights work together, So, yeah, I can't wait for people to see it.
Well, me either. I always, like I said before, always look forward to opening night, and such a interesting crowd that shows up on opening night.
And it's our biggest audience. It's our biggest opening night audience of the year.
Wow.
Already, and they still have 8 more hours to buy tickets. Yeah.
So folks,
So you hear that,
listen up.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we say it all the time. Tickets are selling fast. Yeah, but like, we're selling 100 tickets a day to the Wedding Singer, and we only have 215 seats on the boat, and there's only 9 performances. So if you do that math, if that maintains, we will be sold out like we were for the second weekend of Sister Act, where we had to turn people away. So do not wait. Get your tickets now, because like the McRib, it's available for a limited time only.
Yeah.
That's a line in the show.
Okay, another
I'm
one.
not just plugging McDonald's.
Okay. That's funny.
But also,
Now, what have you two got lined up after the Wedding Singer show?
well, I'll be here for one more show, my 5th and final for the season in The World Goes Round. And then I'm actually going to take a break. I've been very fortunate enough to have been working all year since last summer. And so I've earned like a month, my summer vacation, because this was certainly not one, though it was, as much fun as an actual vacation, to take some time and regroup and just hang out with the folks for a while. But after that, I plan on moving back to Chicago.
Okay. And Sydney.
Yes, this is my last show here on the boat, which is so sad, but I have about a week and a half at home, and then I have to head back to school to start rehearsals for the Blossom Festival, where the BW people are doing Sound of Music, and then senior year is just going to be crazy. We have our New York photo shoot and headshots, prepping for showcase, so it's definitely a busy year. I will not have a month break, but that's okay.
I don't know that I will too. That's
Gotta
just
keep going.
fingers
Gotta keep
crossed.
going.
And aren't you doing Sound of Music with the Cleveland Orchestra?
Yeah, so Blossom Festival every year, it's like a concert sort of musical with the Cleveland Orchestra. So I have to go early because I'm understudying Maria and I'm also in the nun ensemble
Yeah.
and maybe some other things that I'm not sure about yet, but Maria and the children have to go a week early, so I will be there a little bit before the rest of my friends from school, but it's exciting. I'm very excited. I feel like having breaks for me is anxiety inducing, so I like just like moving and working and
Yep.
keep going.
Yeah.
Don't
That's
think about anything, just do it.
Just do it, yes.
That's right. And James, what about you?
Oh goodness. Well, I've taken a teaching position at University of Buffalo.
Oh, wow.
And so I have a week from when we end our season to when I start teaching in Buffalo, and I have to go from here to New York City and pack up my apartment and move to Buffalo and start a job in a week. So we'll see how that works out, but it'll happen. It's just, moving is hard enough, but trying to move from one place to another when you're at a third place is even more difficult. So I'm excited about it, but it definitely is going to be a hectic few weeks.
All right.
Yeah.
And me, I'm just still here, I guess.
But you have a new tower for the
Yes.
radio station.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're hoping within days that
Yeah.
it's finally turned on and we can blast all over the area here.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have got, what did I say, from August 10th, almost 2 full years
Yeah.
waiting for this to happen.
Yeah.
And many hoops to jump through from many people and organizations, and we're glad that's almost over and we can get back to business as normal here.
Right.
So,
Right.
now, anything else you guys want to mention before we wrap up here?
No, if you're looking for a good time, stop by the Clinton Showboat and see the wedding singer.
See the wedding singer.
Yeah, feel the love.
Okay. And that's Sydney Jaye and Grant Alexander Brown, who are the leads in tonight's show. So, folks, we hope you get a chance, if not tonight, throughout the run of The Wedding Singer, to get a chance to enjoy the entertainment that these two and the rest of the cast will provide for you. So that's going to wrap up our show for this week, and we'll again break a leg, folks, and we'll talk to you again in 2 weeks. You bet, James.
Thank you.
You bet.